All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Meister Spiker, where I suggest to you how you should be approaching your local's Meister Cup monthly event. This is going to be a much shorter video than last month's, as Oshi no Ko is debatably one of, if not the best deck in the English format right now. So first, we need to explain what a Tier 0 format is. The thesis of this entire video series is to imagine a world in which the Meister Cup is allowed to converge on its own metagame. Now, a Tier 0 format in any competitive environment is where something is going to take up roughly 70% of all top spots within a given tournament. Now, do I believe that a Oshi no Ko only tournament series would converge on exclusively one deck? No, but it's really, really close. Akane is just an absolutely ridiculous finisher that you are making a mistake by not playing. It is her world, it is her format, and we are all living in it. There is no way to go over the top of this deck, and attempting to go under it is going to yield very limited results given the card choices that you have available within Oshi no Ko itself. Outside of Oshi no Ko, other decks might be able to go under it, but within itself, you're not going to find enough that can control the game to where this card is not going to kill you. So the card in question here, we have a whole lot of math on the screen here. The simulator for numbers does not allow for checking for level zeros, or if it does, I have not figured out how to program that yet. But I did want to make some pretty safe assumptions as well as the high roll potential. So the top chart you see here is assuming 9 hits. You get 3 mills, all of them mill off level zeros, but the bottom is assuming 7 hits, so one of them hits 3 and 2 of them hit 2. I feel like that's a pretty safe estimate, and we can see here that you are incredibly favored to deal 8 or more damage against almost every single deck state. Your opponent has to be turbo compressed in order for this to not just obliterate them. There is no finisher that is better than this in the set, and debatably no finisher better than it in the game right now. That's a topic for a different video that I likely won't make. So your only hope, if you don't want to play Akane for whatever reason, which I do believe is a mistake, is to play Kana instead, as she is a similarly flowy type of finisher. You can see her damage numbers here. I stopped it at 10 because the numbers fall off way too heavily after that. But you can see they're almost 10% behind every single chance to deal damage. The only place where Kana is better is if your opponent is turbo compressed. And if your opponent is turbo compressed, they were probably winning that game no matter what you were playing. Now, an argument somebody might have for this deck is to use the Memsho level 2 to stock away all of your level 0s. Unfortunately, this is not going to work the way you assume. Most decks are going to be playing about 20 zeros plus or minus 1. But if we assume that you play 18 zeros in your Oshi no Ko deck, and you have the absolute quote-unquote blessed scenario to Tri-Field and Memcho and then watch your opponent cancel all 3 attacks, you can stock away 6 of your zeros, and if you then refresh after that, because stocking away zeros won't do anything for your current deck compression, only your next deck compression, your deck is still 45% level zeros, which is way too close to 50% for me to ever even think of suggesting this. Kana will still be flipping 1 to 2 level zeros off of her effect, even if you get this magical scenario to go off. By playing 8 climaxes in your deck, there is no feasible amount of zeros that you can play to skew those numbers in your favor. And again, this is all assuming that your opponent triple cancels, which brings a different issue in and of itself. So that's really all I have. The conclusion of this is you should approach this format as if you know that you're just going to be flipping coins. You and your opponent need to be on the same deck or very similar decks, as there is no combination of cards that is going to give you enough of an edge that is worth taking a hit to consistency or flexibility. Heads, I win. Tails, I lose. Shuffle up, go next round. Sometimes you just have to be the guy that flips heads 4 or 5 times in a row. I really wish that I had more insight into this format, but this is really it. This matchup is just the biggest casino roll that you can have. On the bright side, your tournaments will be ending pretty quickly, so you can either go get food afterwards or play some casuals with matchups that don't make me want to eat glass. So really, yeah, that's it. Subscribe to me. Follow me on Blue Sky. Hopefully next month I'll have more insight with Eminence and Shadow.